Pakistan is still in trouble. The number of suicide bombings and other attacks in Pakistan declined nearly 20% last year as a result of Pakistani military operations, better surveillance by law enforcement agencies, and the death of key militants in U.S. drone strikes, a think tank said Sunday. But the militant threat remains very dire. In some ways, the militants may be even stronger. The Pakistani government has yet to develop a comprehensive policy to eradicate Islamist militants who continue to plague the country, warned the Pak Institute for Peace Studies. Better coordination among intelligence agencies, capacity building of law enforcement agencies, curbs on terrorism financing, and most importantly, adequate measures to prevent banned militant groups from operating across the country remained persistently lacking, said a new report by the group. Pakistan's anti-terror efforts are a key focus of the Obama administration, which wants the country to do more to target Taliban militants who regularly launch attacks against U.S. troops in Afghanistan. The number of militant, insurgent, and sectarian-related attacks in Pakistan declined from 2,586 in 2009 to 2,113 last year. But the number of people killed in attacks only dropped approximately 3.5% from 3,021 to 2,913. Despite the general decline, attacks roughly tripled last year in Pakistan's two largest cities, said the report, a sign that militants are having greater success exporting the fight far from the northwest heartland along the Afghan border. In Karachi, a teeming city of some 16 million that has a long history of religious, political, and ethnic violence, 93 attacks killed 233 people last year, up from 24 attacks that killed 65 in 2009. Pakistan's cultural capital, Lahore, witnessed 44 attacks last year, compared to 11 in 2009. But there were fewer casualties in Punjab province, where Lahore is the capital, because the militants carried out a smaller number of suicide attacks in crowded places. Across the country, suicide attacks fell 22%, from 87 in 2009 to 68 last year, according to the report. The Pakistani military has launched a series of operations against militants in the northwest. The campaigns have dealt a serious blow, but have failed to achieve sustainable peace due to the less than impressive performance of a weak political administration, which is beset by chronic challenges of poor governance, said the report. The U.S. also has serious concerns about Pakistan's ability to transition to effective hold and build efforts in cleared areas, according to a White House progress report drafted last year. This failure results in short-lived military gains that allow militants to regroup in these areas, said the report. U.S. officials have also expressed frustration with Pakistan's unwillingness to launch an offensive in North Waziristan, part of the country's lawless tribal region that hosts a large number of militants who wage attacks in Afghanistan. So, in other words, it's not really getting any better, is it? The Pakistani army says its troops are stretched too thin by other operations in the tribal region, but many analysts believe the military is reluctant to cross militants with whom it has historical ties and could be useful allies in Afghanistan after foreign troops withdraw. No, it's not over yet, and the United States has responded by more than doubling the number of drone strikes in the tribal region. There were close to 120 such strikes in 2010, most of which occurred in North Waziristan. The United States refuses to acknowledge the covert CIA drone strikes in public, but officials have said privately that they have killed several senior Taliban and Al-Qaeda militants over the past several years, along with many other people. Yes, these are still very dangerous times in Pakistan and in the world. And all these are more signs of the times, the end times, transition days, which, like I say, is a continuing day-by-day process. Everything that must change quickly or rapidly, and yes, for the better. What kind of world are we leaving to the future generations? And that is one of the most important questions that there is. Revelation chapter 8, verse 12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. 13. And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. Revelation chapter 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those humans which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. 5. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he strikes a man. 6. And in those days shall humans seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. 7. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. 8. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. 9. And they had breastplates, as it were, breastplates of iron or metal, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. 10. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt humans 5 months. 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has his name Apollyon. 12. One woe is past, and, behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God. 14. Saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And yes, again, it's time. It's time for all prophecy to be fulfilled. And there are many different kinds of signs happening daily all around the world. Yes, the 4th angel comes quickly. Now is the time.